Hey you guys, what's up? So I'm trying something new. I'm videotaping sideways. YouTube, this will look a lot better. If you follow me on Instagram, you want to check out this video. It's on celebration. Go check it out. I will put it in my bio. But the word is celebration, and I got a lot of requests on this word. I'm going to share a story, and then I'm just going to share like some fundamental points on what celebration is and how should we practice that. But the other day I was doing homework, and I was doing Spanish homework specifically. If you know me, I already struggle in English. So trying Spanish and working on Spanish homework is definitely not my first choice of homework. And my roommate literally watched me struggle to do one problem for probably a good hour and a half. And I finally finished it, and I was like, Danny, I finished it. And she goes, Emma, why aren't you celebrating? Why aren't you excited? I'm like, girl, if you only knew how much more I gotta go. And she goes, Emma, that's the point. If you can celebrate in this little thing, it'll rejuvenate you and get you excited to finish the rest. And I was like, shoot, you're not wrong. And she's like, no, Emma, it's actually a spiritual practice. And she showed me this in this book called Spiritual Disciplines. And there was a bunch of Bible verses on how people in the Bible practice it as well. And we even see in Acts 16 when Paul was in prison, and him and his buddy are finding something to sing about. And they're in prison, and you're just you definitely should not be celebrating right now. But it's celebration should be constantly practiced throughout our life, because heaven does it all the time, and then B, it changes our mentality from this mentality of negativity to positivity. And as believers, we're called to be the light. And how do we be a light in such a dark world? And that's literally rejoicing. And so even when I was little, my mom would speak this scripture over my siblings and I every day when we would wake up. And it's crazy because literally God's compassion and his love and his joy it's new every morning. And so it's really cool my mom would speak this over us. But this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And I remember literally saying that throughout my day, even in the worst moments. But it would change my mentality, right? Because celebration and rejoicing takes this mentality of living life from the source of scarcity to then celebrating and causing us to live this life from a source of abundance. And it's rejoicing literally over the simplest things. And celebration, this was the biggest thing that I took out of this spiritual discipline book, is celebration. It enlarges our capacity to enjoy and serve God. What? It enlarges our capacity to enjoy our relationship with God and to serve God. And so learning how to celebrate through the little things and the hard things, when Paul was in prison, I'm sure that's not easy. Or even maybe it's for us, it's okay, do you guys ever have those days when you just you're not feeling it? You're just in quote unquote a funk. It's just a funky day, and you're dang, why do I feel so down? And it's even in those moments, we should turn to the Lord and celebrate and rejoice in the day, because the Lord is our portion. And when we find our source of joy in him, it's abundant. He's an abundant God. He comes from this endless resource. And really what joy is, it's a transformation from within. Happiness is based on what happens, but joy is this internal transformation. And it doesn't matter what circumstances we're in. It's this just going back to the God of peace. And so I think the biggest thing is, as a believer, if you follow God or if you don't, becoming a Christian doesn't mean life is going to become glamorous and glory and everything's going to be rainbows and pixie dust. No. Becoming a Christian actually invites a lot of tribulation, but tribulation and trials is what makes us more Christ-like. Because yes, Christ did suffer on the cross so that every single one of us can then have a relationship with God, our Father. But when we do go through those tribulations, we don't have a God who's just going to be okay, you're on your own. No, God is our strength and he is our refuge. And it literally, you don't understand it at first, but like as you go through these trials and tribulations, you literally come before the Lord and like you ask him, like, God, please give me your strength. And like he gives you his strength. And you're like, okay, I know this isn't from me, because my old self would not be able to go through this. My old self would not be able to go through this if I was going through this when I wasn't a follower of Christ. But like, God is a God of comfort and joy and peace, and he wants us to enjoy this life. And so he's calling us to rejoice and be glad in it. So celebrate. Like, my call to action for you is find 3 things today, which should be really easy, that you could celebrate over today. Like, mine would be like, A, the sun is shining. B, my heart is beating. And then 3, I have shoes on my feet. Like, I'm gonna celebrate in that, because I know that not everybody in this world, not everybody in the world has the sun shining. B, not everybody has a heart that's healthy. And C, like, people don't always have shoes. And so, like, I'm gonna rejoice in that, and I'm excited. But yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, please let me know. It'll help me a lot on what I can do to improve. Also, leave me comments if you guys like. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.